record.
Seesaw pursuit on a hot summer day. Coffee comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day, what a day. Kids got their quizzes and
Well, welcome to Schenectady today. In and around the Capital Region, do we have a show for you today? We've got Derek Horton and the J Street Band is going to be performing with us, and I am so happy to have them here. We're also going to be talking about Music Haven. We're going to be talking about the Saratoga Equestrian program up there as a therapeutic program. And then we're going to be doing another segment with Angelina talking about the compost fair that's coming up for the whole family. And then we're going to be coming back with Derek Horton and the J Street Band. So we got a great lineup for you today. I'm going to start right out walking over here and talking to Derek Horton, Doc Horton. Doc, you like Doc, don't you?
Yeah, that's the name.
Okay, good. Doc is the leader of the band, and tell me what you're going to do today.
Well, first of all, we're going to bring a little Motown in here, so we hope you're ready. We're going to start off with Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
Okay, sounds pretty good to me. And then we're going to let you play for a while. Okay. And then what are you doing after that one?
After Ain't
I don't want to interrupt you, so.
Okay. Well, we're going to do Ain't Too Proud to Beg. We're going to do Ain't No Sunshine.
Oh, I love that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do The Wait.
Yeah, okay. I guess we're going to hear it all. So yeah. I'm going to get out of the way. I might boogie over there, boogie on down.
All right, I might come over and boogie with
you. Okay, good. Take it away, Doc.
Professor, give me a C. I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg and plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, 'cause you mean that much to me. Ain't too proud to beg, sweet darling, please don't leave me, girl, don't you go. Ain't too proud to plead, baby, baby, please don't leave me, girl. Now I've heard a crying man that's half a man with no sense of pride. But if I got to cry to keep you, I don't mind weeping if it'll keep you by my side. Ain't you proud to beg, sweet darling, please don't leave me, girl, don't you go. Ain't you proud to plead, baby, baby, please don't leave me, girl. I got to sleep at your doorstep all night day, just to keep you from walking away. Let your friends laugh, even this I can stand, 'cause I wanna keep you, baby, any way I can. Ain't you proud to beg, sweet darling, please don't leave me, girl, don't you go. Ain't you proud to plead, baby, baby, please don't leave me, girl. Okay, y'all jam, a little jam. I got a love so deep in the pit of my heart. Each day it grows more and more. I'm not ashamed to come and plead with you, baby, if it'll keep you from walking out that door. Ain't you proud to beg, sweet darling, please don't leave me, girl, don't you go. Ain't you proud to plead, baby, baby, please don't leave me, girl. Baby, 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 sweet darling, please don't leave me, girl, don't you go. Too proud to plead, baby, baby, please don't leave me, girl. Thank you. Absolutely. First here, we've got the trumpet munching, Sean. On sax, we've got Andrew. All right. On guitar, we've got Rick. On the keys, we've got the professor. And on drums, we got Phil. And of course, I'm Doc. So now, one of the things we always like to talk about is friendship. A good friend is there to the end. A good friend lets you know that by yourself, you don't have to carry the weight. Pulled into Nazareth, I was feeling like half past dead. Looking to find a place where I can lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He looked at me, shook my hand, no is all he said. Take a load off Fanny, oh, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny and put the load right on me. Picked up my bag, I went searching for a place to hide. Then I see Carmen the devil walking there side by side. I said, hey Carmen, let's go on and head downtown. She said, I got to go, but my friend can stick around. Take a load off Fanny, oh, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny and put the load right on me. Go down, Miss Moses, there ain't nothing for you to say. There's just old Luke and Luke, he's waiting for the judgment day. Hey Luke, my friend, what about Miss Annalie? Do me a favor, son, won't you stay and keep Annalie company? Oh my Lord, take a load off Fanny, oh, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny and put the load right on me. Crazy Chester caught me as I was walking way in a fog. He said, I'll fix your rack if you'll take Jack, my dog. Now wait a minute, Chester, well you know I'm a peaceful man. He said, that's okay, boy, just feed him when you can. Take a load off Fanny, oh, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny and put the load right on me. Catch a cannonball, we're gonna take it on down the line. My bag is sinking low, and I do believe it's time to get back to Miss Fanny. You know she's the only one who sent me here with her regards for everyone. Take a load off Fanny, oh, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny and put the load right on me. Let's try this a cappella, fellas. Take a load off Fanny, oh, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny and oh Lord, Lord. And put the load right on me. Oh Lord, Lord, Lord. Put it on me. Put it on me. Put it on me. Thank
Man.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. I love the addition of the sax and the trumpet.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
really
you.
a nice addition to it. Would anybody believe this guy is a professor? Holy moly. You do it all, don't you?
I try.
You try, yeah. So anyway, we're going to be hearing from you guys a little bit later on in the show, and you're going to be closing out our whole show, so that's great. Thank you all for coming. This is really great, and we're going to be taking just a quick break, a little bit on the Erie Canal, and then when we come back, we're going to have 2 chairs here with 2 guests, so, well, me and a guest, so we'll see you. Extreme pleasure to introduce to our audience Mona Golub. She is phenomenal at getting music together, and primarily for Music Haven. And you do the passport series. You're doing it all. You bring in talent that is amazing, and it's free.
It is.
So
unique artists from all over the world make their way to Music Haven and then to the Passport Series, Music Haven at Proctor's during the year.
Yeah.
And we have a
so
lot of
you
fun.
keep on going.
We do.
You just don't
We
stop. So first of all, we want to tell people when it is, but it's kind of hard because we used to say Sundays at 7 o'clock at Central Park Music Haven. But that's not it anymore, is it?
Well,
you've got other days.
We still have concerts every
I know
Sunday
that, yeah.
consecutively following July 4th, all the way through the end of August.
Right.
But we've doubled the number of shows now that we've got this beautiful new house in Hill.
Isn't
I think
that
you know we've
wonderful?
got
Chairs,
460 really quality stadium seats. And the Hill has been terraced for the comfort of those who prefer blankets and lawn chairs. So we want to invite more people to come and join us in the park, and therefore we've got a few Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday shows, and even the return of the Schenectady Symphony on Saturday, August 11th.
They're going to be doing
They
pops,
are.
I think. So I guess what would be kind of fun is to look at some of the photos of some of the guests that are coming up. And perhaps as we do that, you can tell us a little bit about the groups. And I'm waiting for them to bring the photos up. Once they do, we'll take a peek at them, and you'll be able to turn and look at them. There we are. Okay, now you can turn.
So we're starting the season on July 8th in North Africa, the Sahara Desert region, with Bambino and Inov Gnawa opening. And that's Dwayne Dopsey of the Zydeco Hellraisers.
I love Zydeco.
He was just nominated for a Grammy, and he'll be performing our Summer Social Concert, which is our community gala, on August 5th. And we've got Chime, SEO's group that reaches into the disadvantaged communities here in Schenectady and mentors kids on classical instrumentation and in life. And they'll be performing on Wednesday, August 8th. That will be a fabulous night in the park.
It's going to be great.
Then we've got Gabacho Maroc, which is actually a French jazz fusion collective from France with a couple of Algerian and Moroccan members. They will be making their U.S. debut at Music Haven on Sunday, July 15.
Wow.
And their current album is #1 on top of the Trans-Global World Music charts right now, so that will be a really great show. Eberry Choir is coming to us on Tuesday, July 24. They are from the Republic of Georgia. It's the first time we've had an a cappella choir singing ancient music from centuries ago on the stage,
wonderful.
and that will be fabulous as well. La Cue Musique is bringing Haitian rara and voodoo music to the stage on July 29. They formed as a multi-generational group in the wake of the earthquake to bring hope to their people.
Oh, wonderful.
And their music is
What a
truly
nice history.
inspirational. Mild 12 is a co-presents with our friends at Cafe Lena, coming down from Saratoga to help us present a wonderful bluegrass group, Mild 12, with Honeysuckle opening. And that's a Thursday evening show. We've got the Empire Jazz Orchestra. You may have heard them across the last 25 years, a professional group that's been in residence at SCCC. This is their absolute final performance. We're calling it their encore on Tuesday, July 10. Pasquale Ilabaca y Fauna is coming all the way from Chile to play some pop for us on Sunday, July 22. And Scary Vor is coming all the way from the Isle of Tiree in Scotland to play some Scottish folk rock
And
for us.
I understand that the pipe band, Schenectady Pipe Band, is going to be there too.
They're going to kick off the show, and I think we're going to have them walk in from a remote location so we can enjoy the sound.
Coming from the Highlands.
Exactly. And this year, Ann, we are going to end our season on Sunday, August 9th, with a fabulous blues show featuring Toronzo Cannon.
The 19th, yeah.
On the 19th, and that will include a blues barbecue stage side with LT's Grill and Slide and Dirty. And then, as I had mentioned, the Schenectady Symphony is making its return. They have not played Music Haven since 2007, so we're thrilled to have them back for a pop show.
Back there. And I was sorry to hear that the Schenectady conductor is leaving. Yeah.
Well, Chuck Schneider has served them well for many years.
35 years, I think.
Yes, and he conducted them when they played at the Agnes McDonald's inaugural back on July 7th, 1999. So we have fond memories with Chuck.
Yeah, I just think he's such a wonderful person. I was a guest at one of their performances, and it was like, he is an amazing man. Yes. He is so compassionate and so good with his performers. But we're not talking about that. But I do want to mention that with all of these performances, you have like an opening act for most of them, don't you?
Yes, some are international, some are local, regional, all complement the evening and create this experience. So we talk about traveling the world one concert at a time at Music Haven. So each evening is a journey. And both groups will take you to a far-off place for a few hours, and then you can go rest easy in your own home.
Well, the nice part is we get our ears filled with this international music, but we can get our bellies filled too, right? What's going on?
Definitely.
You've got some really good partners.
We have always believed that if people are going to come out on an evening to get comfortable in the park under the stars, to be able to dine al fresco on really good food matters.
Yeah.
So more Parecas will be joining us again stage side for the global shows. Mike's Hot Dogs will be with us for the rest of the season. Ben & Jerry's will be there with us for every show. And also the folks from Wolf Hollow Brewing Company and Nine Pin Cider will
that's
join
nice.
us and be
Yeah.
pouring
And then, of
draft.
course, you have LTs for
For the
slide
barbecue,
dirty, yeah.
yes.
So this is
Yes.
great. I can't imagine, how long does it take you to put, I mean, because you're doing this, but you're also working on the Passport series, because you've got to be, I mean, when I do this show, I'm not working on this one, I'm working all the way out.
Well,
So-
it's definitely a year-round, second full-time job for me, but a labor of love
Yeah.
all the way. So there are certain groups right now I'm looking at bringing in a year or two from now when I know that they'll be touring the United States,
Well,
and I
see,
want to make
that's-
sure Schenectady's on their
You have
roster.
to make sure that they are, you know, that they're going to be in the country, first of all, because you don't
Exactly.
want to say, hey, you want to come and we'll, you know, for this one performance. So they're probably on a tour, but the idea that you get some of them for the first tours.
Very exciting. The last time that happened was our 25th anniversary when Mokumba from Zimbabwe opened the show. It was
Yeah.
their first gig on U.S. soil. So this is exciting. And actually, I've worked through the immigration process with this band that will be coming through from Canada. But Gabacho Maroc will hit 7 different countries on their summer tour. And Schenectady, New York is the only date in the United States this time around.
Well, you know, you just said something that just kind of tweaked me a little bit. These people all need visas to come to the country.
We do.
This has got to be, because I know of some cases where at the last minute the visa didn't come through. And I mean, it wasn't maybe for you, but it was for another performance. And I heard that. And it was like, well, these are performers. Why don't you just, you know, they're not. You know.
Well, most of the international agents with whom I deal are well versed in those issues. This is the first time I've ever gotten involved, but I was so excited to bring this band in and have them debut here in Schenectady that I got involved with Whiteman Osterman Hannah in Albany, who has a great immigration department, and offered to help with
good.
that. So
Yeah.
they're sponsoring the concert, and that'll be a fabulous
So
evening.
you're multi-dimensional when you do this. So let's talk briefly, just because I know maybe the Passport series isn't set up yet, but
It is,
It is set
actually.
up. Okay. I mean, I'm sure it is, because you have to plan so far in
They
advance.
just announced it, actually, Proctor's, just this past week.
Okay, so this is going to be at Proctor's on the main stage.
In the GE Theater.
GE Theater,
Yeah,
okay.
Proctor's main stage is our rain site for all of the summer shows, save for a couple. That will be at GE Theater, Niskayuna High School.
Yeah, well, whatever you can. Yeah,
exactly.
You get the space.
But the Passport series, Music Haven at Proctor's, is held in the GE Theater here, and is most intimate, wonderful space, whether a cabaret setting or a dance party setting. So we've got 4 shows coming in, as we did last year. We're going to start in the Gambia with the first master kora player, female, from any West African griot family, Sona Drobate,
Wow.
in October. Then in November, we've got a wonderful jazz trio, believe it or not, that's led by a jazz harpist, Edmar Castaneda, who's
Really,
Colombian.
a harp? Well, why not? I guess I don't think of a harp as being, as
No.
a jazz, but it could be.
Absolutely
It's a stringed instrument.
dynamic.
Yeah.
And then in February, we've got Banda Magna, which is led by Greek-born Magna Giannakou. It's a fabulous cabaret jazz group that sings in French and Portuguese and Italian and Spanish, and will take us to
Talented.
many different places.
Multi-talented, yeah.
And then we end the season with that band, Mokumba from Zimbabwe,
The one
that
you
has
talked
not
about before.
played the area since 2014.
Yeah.
So we'll have an African dance party to end the Passport series this year in April.
Speaking of dance, at Central Park, you still have that dance area, don't you?
Oh, there's always space for dancing.
Yeah.
Some like to sit, some like to stand, some like to dance. It's a gathering space, and because it's out in the open, people can feel comfortable expressing themselves as they will.
I love that when I'm there. It's like sometimes just a people watcher, because it's so much fun to see, especially when you see the little kids that come with their families. The kids are uninhibited, and they will dance to their own tune, which is wonderful. And I love to see that expression, and I love the word expression because it allows them to really kind of just be themselves.
Well, I think sometimes kids watch music on television or they listen to it on the radio, and they don't feel the great energy of a live band like the one we just
Yeah,
heard here,
yeah.
and realize that that talent, that energy is coming right from these people.
Exactly.
And that's just a fabulous thing.
Well, we want to encourage you, first of all, to go to Music Haven or to the Passport Series. We'll mention that as well. And to, when you go there, think about supporting the sponsors that are there and the food vendors, because they come there to support you, and they give you other support. So we want to make sure that we support everybody that's involved with this, because this is a free event. You don't get things like this for free probably anywhere else, but we have it right here. And I encourage you to come, bring your friends. You have out-of-town visitors, bring them along. Have dinner on the lawn or whatever, and the stadium seats are in the lawn, wherever it is. Bring a blanket, enjoy yourself. There's so much, and we have such a beautiful park and our beautiful lake there as well. Iroquois Lake, is that what's called?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
And the duck pond.
Oh, damn, I remember that. So anyway, Mona Golub, who is the artistic producing director of this wonderful series, and please, if you see her on the street, just give her a big shout out, because she's doing some great stuff in our community. Thank you for being part of it too. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Saratoga Therapeutic Equestrian Program and find out what they're doing. Stay tuned.
While we're in Canada, my mother that's bootlegging day. That's when they didn't allow liquor. So my father and my mother, when they went to Canada, told my mother to go up the street and buy all the wine and all the liquor she could get. And my father would hide the liquor in the trap door underneath the carpet. So when the inspectors came down, they'd bang on the walls looking for a hollow spot. And when he didn't do that, well, the minute my mother saw the inspector, she'd say in French, "Il va sit-toi, sit-toi." That means sit on the potty, sit on the potty. There was a potty there in the middle of the floor on top of the trap door. Just say to myself, I wonder.
And here we are back again, and with me it's my pleasure to introduce to you the Executive Director of STEP, S-T-E-P, it's called Saratoga Therapeutic Equestrian Program. And it's an amazing program, and Kay is a physical therapist. So we're going to find out exactly what they do, where they're located, and find out more about them and how we can support them.
Hi,
Good.
thank you, Ann. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you again.
Good, I'm glad to be back. STEP is a not-for-profit 501c3, and we're 32 years old this year. We're founded upon a medical model which incorporates physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech and language, but incorporates the movement of the horse, which is very important to helping develop with children who have developmental disabilities, traumatic brain injury, soldiers, veterans, PTSD.
Oh, so it's all ages.
All ages. We have ages from 2 to, I say 75. We usually say to 100, but I haven't had a 100-year-old yet. And our horses are selected for their movement and their temperament, mostly rescued horses, which is another facet of our program. Most people don't understand that this is the third age for these horses, and they have purposeful lives with us. And
well, and they're gentle, and they're probably very receptive to having someone on their back, so to speak.
Definitely. They're a very special, unique animal. You don't go out and just buy a horse. But what happens is that you're able to use them in the facility for their different types of temperament, but also the way they move and their size. We have everything from a 32-inch mini to a 17-hand Percheron.
Well, what we should do is bring up some of those photos, and perhaps we can talk about the photos of the animals and find out, because some of these photos are really great. So there we go.
Well, that's one of our minis. That's Thunder, and he's doing what we call the Step from the Ground Up program. It's a non-mounted activity, and what we do is we teach horses and children how to communicate. I guess he's communicating something to us. We also have a lot of fun with our horses. We had a tendency to dress our horses up whenever we had a special event, so we decided to put Finn in a suit for a prom date.
That's wonderful.
And then on the bottom folder, right there on the bottom is Peanut. He's one of our oldest horses and one of our youngest riders, who's 2 years old.
Oh.
This is a gentleman who's part of our veterans program. He's learning to work with horses and to be able to help with his psychological needs at this point in life. The top picture to the right is a little girl doing a hippotherapy session. That session has to do with a lot of people. You're going to see we need a lot of volunteers to make it happen. The bottom section is Gambler, and again, he's working with a non-mounted session, getting ready to go out to the therapy ring. This young lady riding is a horse on Gambler, and Gambler was donated to us quite a while ago. We didn't think he was going to make a therapy horse and found out that he's one of the best we've ever had.
Oh my, how nice.
And of course, not only do we do mounted activities in the indoor arena, but we also do outside activities. We have a wonderful sensory trail, which, by the way, we need lots of help putting back together again with all these storms that have been happening.
I know.
My goodness. This is a shot from inside of a session with hippotherapy. Just count the amount of people it takes to make this happen.
Yeah.
And
these are all volunteers.
Everybody's a volunteer, including myself.
Yeah.
We have no paid staff. All our money goes right into the program to support the horses.
Well, and you're taking care of horses. They got to eat, and
Exactly.
they got to be, you know, mucked out, everything. I mean, there's a lot of work.
A lot of work. This is one of our recent horses that we've rescued, and he's working wonderful in the program. And he's got a new barn that was donated to us, and it's great. Our little girl Angela rides him, and she also rides another horse by the name of Cranky Pants. Long story short, but the horse is cranky, but she's a wonderful riding pony.
Wonderful. Well, I mean, you really do have a number of, that looks like a horse that's been a little bit older.
Yes, this is actually a Premarin foal, that big white horse. He was a Percheron, if people are familiar with that. He was rescued from that industry and has had a life with us for almost 20 years.
I imagine that the horses that you bring in are so, I mean, horses are very intuitive, from what I understand. They said they really know how to communicate with their handler or their rider. It seems to me that giving them a new life, you are not only giving a new life to your riders, you're giving it to the horses as well.
Well, you know, horsemen will look at the horse and say, it's we're going to save the horse for a new life and new purpose. And then others, our therapists, look at it and we're looking at the horse is going to be saving the people.
Exactly.
And helping them to have a new life. But, you know, in both cases, both scenarios are true. We need the horse needs us. And the big piece of this is we all need you. We need the public to help. Volunteerism has dropped off immensely.
You are not the first person to tell me that.
And we are trying and reaching out and trying to find different ways to motivate and have innovative ways to bring new people into our lives.
So you're looking for volunteers?
Oh my gosh, poop pickers, paper jockeys, barn moms. We're looking for sidewalkers and horse handlers. We have 17 mouths up there and all those hooves that have to be cleaned, and we need people that are capable of doing that work.
Yeah.
Plus the facility maintenance. I mean, I feed every morning at 5:30 in the morning before I go to work.
She's a physical therapist and goes to work.
It'd be nice to have somebody else run around on the tractor and get rid of the manure.
Exactly. Well, at least maybe you could sell it. Who knows? And raise a little money.
You know, that's a good idea. Saratoga Black Gold.
Now, where are you located?
Well, our home stable is in Glenville, New York. We've been there for 32 years. We actually are partnering with a facility that saves standardbreds heading for home up in Saratoga.
Oh, nice.
So we have a satellite unit up there, and we're going to be doing a pilot program very shortly with them. We're very anxious about that. We've introduced a new program called Step from the Ground Up, and it's an awesome PATH certified program. We are a PATH facility, and we are also American Hippotherapy Association certified, and we follow the book on everything, right from pony club to horse care and maintenance. So a lot of what we do is not just being on the back of a horse, but it's also educating people to the experience. The sensory motor part of being on a horse is so great.
And you certainly understand that because of your background.
Definitely. We have a lot of research.
How do you, how do people get involved with your program? How do you find clients, and how does that work?
We've never lacked for people to come and need our services.
Do you go through agencies or do you just?
Everything. We have referrals direct from doctors that I've worked with for years. I have referrals from family and friends. People go on our website. They'll see us on a program like yours and they'll be interested. I have a MS program for men and women with multiple sclerosis because I'm a MS certified specialist. Then our brain injury program, I'd worked in brain injury for 7.5 years, and people have just followed me. And I've used the horse in my treatment strategies. That's what people have to understand. They're not a tool. They're a partner, but they're part of real therapy. This is the real deal.
No, and I know it is because that's why we have you on the show, because of that. But I do want to mention that you are, in raising funds, you are having a fundraiser, although it's in October. Let's mention it to people.
Well, every year we have a wonderful fundraiser. It's called Step Out to the Races, and it's October 21st again this year. It's our 12th year. We have a matinee race that's done. There's 12 races that are done at Saratoga Harness. It's the old harness track.
Yeah.
But it's Saratoga.
Where the casino is.
It's hotel and casino now. And we're in the Fortunes restaurant. Oh my God.
It's so, and you can look down and it's so really nice up there, and the food is excellent.
Excellent, and the children and the volunteers get to go down and present the trophies to the horses. And sponsorships. We're looking for underwriters right now for the sponsorship of the event. And they start anywhere from $200 to $2,000, and you can get a whole table, you can get on the tote board. There's so much to offer.
Well, we want to encourage our viewers to volunteer, to support, to find out more about this program, and perhaps get involved with it. It's so gratifying when people talk about volunteering. You have no idea. We do this show. The show is all done by all volunteers. God bless them, everyone, each and every one. But without them, we wouldn't be doing the show. Without your volunteers, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. Please take some time to volunteer. I know people that say, oh, I'm so bored, I don't know what. Volunteer, volunteer. It is so rewarding. Please do it, and please support organizations like this and many of the other organizations that are doing so much for our community. Thank you so much, Kay, for being here. It's always a pleasure to see you. Good. We're going to take just a really quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about composting and recycling. How about manure? Well, that's another topic, so stay tuned.
Anyway, sit on the potty, right on the top trap door, with the carpet over it. The inspectors go around banging on all the walls and everything, on the ceiling, and they see me sitting there and they just go right by me and go upstairs and never tell me the who, or we never, they never found out we had a secret when I sat on that potty.
My family immigrated from French Canada. My family was engaged in commerce from Montreal and Hull, Ontario, sometimes east is Quebec City, all the way down to Perth Amboy, New Jersey. They owned 2 barges. When my grandfather was really young, like 11 or 12 years old, he worked on the towpath from Whitehall to Comstocks, and he rode horses. Of course, they were on the barges. They just went from station to station as you went down the canal gently.
Well, that's all on the Erie Canal, and was it 15 miles on the Erie Canal? I got a mule, and her name is Sal, something like that. But right now, we're not talking about mules or manure, but we're going to be talking about composting and recycling. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing. You got a compost fair for the whole family.
That's right. So as the recycling educator for Schenectady County, we're always looking for interesting ways to engage the community with environmental education. So that's why we've put together the compost fair coming up in just a few weeks. It's going to be over in our greenhouse facilities that are
Central Park.
managed by Cooperative Extension.
Yeah.
That's right. Have you ever been to our
You know,
greenhouse
I've
facilities?
driven by it, but I haven't been in there. But I think I
Yeah,
should.
we're tucked away right by the tennis court.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
In Central Park, we have an urban farm there that we run like a CSA program out of.
Not far from Music Haven.
Not far from Music Haven, just a stone's throw. And we obviously have the greenhouse facilities and the classroom. So the compost fair is going to be held right there at the Sustainable Living Center. And we've partnered with probably about a dozen different local organizations who are going to be doing outreach education about backyard composting and soil science and recycling. We'll even have some folks there doing education about how to reduce food waste before it ever becomes garbage, how to properly store food, you know, really looking at
That's really important.
you know, recycling as a whole. Like I always tell people that composting is not just something that gardeners do. You know, it's not, you don't have to be a gardener, you don't have to be a scientist to make compost. It's like the next step to being a really better recycler. And it's so easy to make compost, and that's why we want to share that with the community.
I have compost and I use it all
I
the time.
know
Yeah,
you
I
do.
do.
You're
and
so
I
good.
I have actually one that we built and that we just put in and throw a few leaves in and mix it up and kind of keep it going.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and when you learn just a couple tips and tricks, composting is a lot less intimidating when you just know the basics to it.
I don't think you have to add worms to it. But although you're working
You don't
with
always know,
Yeah.
but we're
you're working with BioSoil or what
BioSoil
yeah,
Farm will
yeah.
be there. Oh geez, we have so many friends that are coming out and doing education. The Friends of the Greenhouse is doing a wonderful raffle, so you can come and win all kinds of prizes if you're interested in
Will you be
gardening.
selling plants
and,
then? Or, but maybe it's
well,
you
the
know,
Master Gardeners will be there.
Okay.
They had a big plant sale coming up that had passed, but they'll be there doing soil testing, which is really exciting. So if you are a gardener and you want to have your soil like evaluated, they'll be able to give you recommendations for how to best do that, depending on what it is that you're trying
yeah, because
to grow.
soil has different pHs, and so you need to have the right kind of a mix to get
Absolutely.
and then of course in many times you have to rotate your crops a little bit. Of course we're not talking about farming, but even a garden in your own yard you might want to rotate a little
Absolutely.
bit.
So if you have questions about gardening, you want to get your soil tested, you can come out and get education like that.
You have a show coming up too.
Yeah,
that day.
so that's really exciting. So part of the
And we have
compost
photos,
fair,
so we'll bring those
yeah,
photos
put
up.
the photos up. So as part of the compost fair, we're doing this educational performance, Dirt, The Secret Life of Soil, is performed by Arm of the Sea Theater. Arm of the Sea Theater is a performance art ensemble from Saugerties, New York, and they do visual arts and storytelling and just puppet magic. It's really wonderful. So this show is going to be on the Music Haven stage, and it's going to close out the compost fair at 2:30 on July 28th.
And plenty of chairs. We know that all those chairs are new out there.
Yes, I hope that we do fill the space. This show is free to come out. We've been able to work with a lot of local organizations who really support environmental sustainability, and they've helped contribute to this performance. So I want to thank all of our sponsors for getting involved with the fair. We'll have,
And this is a free event.
it's all free, and that's the beautiful thing. You know, it's free to come to the fair. It's free to go to this special performance art show, and we're giving away hundreds of free prizes. Price Chopper has donated reusable grocery bags, so to reduce plastic bag waste, we're going to be giving reusable bags. We have lots of prizes at the fair that kids could win. There's face painting, there's games for kids to learn about soil science and composting, and it's really for all ages.
And it's,
you know,
it's on a Saturday.
it's
so-
Saturday, yeah, all morning. Come early and get to meet everyone and see all the wonderful things that the community is doing to educate about recycling, composting. Wonderful. Food waste, I mean, it's a big issue, so we're really energized to inspire people
Food waste
to
is-
think
is-
about that.
And I don't know what you can do about restaurants. I hate to see all that food. I hope they sell it to pig farms or something, or do something with it, because
Absolutely.
I hate to see it go into the trash, and I have seen it just dumped into plastic bags.
Yeah, I mean, from every level of the food chain, you really see farmers who are losing food. because it doesn't meet the specifications
Oh, but
that
there's
the grocery
many
store
stores are now
wants,
putting up
you know,
like
so
a bruised or not so ugly fruits.
ugly fruit. Yeah, go ahead and buy the ugly fruit because
I mean, it's
they
still
are
quality.
delicious and they need a home too. So.
And I know where they're going to go.
Absolutely. And I wanted to mention too, because we were talking so much about volunteering today on your show, this event, there's so many wonderful volunteers behind this event. I just wanted to thank them. We have a lot of volunteers in our program through the Master Composter, Master Recycler training that we do at Cooperative Extension, and they're running workshops at the fair, they're doing composting demonstrations, they're coming up with games for kids, you know, they're really, really involved, and I love having volunteers that are really energized to teach people about these issues. And dedicated. Yeah.
And you work with Cornell as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm out of Cornell Cooperative Extension, and we're funded by Schenectady County with the support of grants through the DEC and the Environmental Protection Fund, and we're out there on the front lines. You'll see me at the farmers markets and at other events, and I have a recycling hotline if anyone has questions about recycling.
She collects, just
give
bring
me a
everything to
call.
her house.
Yeah, I recycle everything. So
Me too, I'm a recycler. Or
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
repurpose a lot of stuff too because it's
So
just-
important.
Yeah, it's so important to do that. But check out the fair. It's coming up in July, on July 28th. And we'll remind you again, if you get my regular MailChimp that I send out every week, I do list all the free events in the area, including all of the Music Haven and
Yes.
composting. So we do try and get that information out to every one of our guests, or our viewers anyway. And if you want to, just email me and I'll get you on the list. So thanks so much, Angeline. It's always
Absolutely.
good to
Thank
see
you so much for having me
Good.
on the show, Ann.
We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to end up this show with Jerry Corton and the J Street Band. They're going to be rocking and rolling right out our door.
Fall asleep on the pommel, and he was riding, you know, horses maybe 14 miles, and that was a long time. They were long hours because they went slow, you know, pulling the barges, and sleeping and being so young concaved his chest. So we could have put our fist right there, and he'd laugh and tell us how it happened. Didn't seem to bother him much, but he got a big kick out of our faces, you know. As he grew older and he married and he had his family, when the canal opened up and the lake, he would bring his family with him. Now, they lived on a little area in the back of the barge. It was only like maybe 10 by 10. And the cooking was done down there, and the laundry. And the girls slept in hammocks, you know, handmade hammocks. The boys slept up on the deck with my grandfather and my great-grandfather. And they had big coils of rope, you know, on top of the barges, and they'd be in a circle, and they'd just snuggle right down into the center of those big ropes. And they would sleep. When it was foul weather, they still slept upside. Just pulled a big piece of canvas over themselves to keep cold, dry and warm. My mother and her younger sister, they used to have a rope tied around them so that if they fell overboard, they could just pull them up. And I asked Mom, I says, did you fall overboard at any time? And she says, oh yes, a couple of times, but my feet never touched the water. And they would just pull them back up. She never learned how to swim.
I came to work on the canal system in 1981. One of the old captains that had, well, in the shape that I'm in now, probably 26, 30 years, pulled me aside and he says, how you like it here on the canal system? I said, good. He goes, what boat are you on? I said, I'm on the Tug Seneca. And he says to me, well, let me ask you this. He goes, you like to drink beer?
And here we are back again with Doc Horton and the J Street Band. Well, first of all, I want to ask him, were you got any gigs coming up so people can see you?
Absolutely. In fact, this Saturday, we're playing on J Street. That's where we were born, right here in Schenectady.
Yeah.
And we're going to be playing at the Dilly Bean.
Oh, the new one. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
yeah. Nice place.
It's a phenomenal new store.
Great place.
Oh, yes.
Outside?
Great place. Right outside.
Right outside.
Oh,
Cool.
yes.
And when is that?
From 12 to 4 p.m.
Okay, on Saturday?
This Saturday.
Hey.
The 30th.
Free performance there.
Free
Just get out there
performance.
and
Come on out.
enjoy.
And we also At every performance, we always donate to a charity.
I know you do.
And of course, this year we've adopted American Cancer Society.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of good things. And in fact, on Sunday, September the 16th, right here at Proctor's Theater, we're doing a big concert for the American Cancer Society.
Good for you.
Oh yeah, from 6 to 8.
This man gives back. He is a give backer person.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Right.
Our company is called The Company with a Conscience. We
Yeah.
always give back.
Yeah.
And the American Cancer Society does so much for all of us.
Yes, exactly, and we never know when we might need them, right?
Absolutely.
I'm going to just say who's coming on next week. We went on location for our show on the 3rd, and we're going to be looking at veterans and veteran stories, and we're also going to be hearing the story of Tony Wayne. He's since passed away, but it's a wonderful story about his trip with Admiral Byrd to Antarctica on his 3rd expedition. It's a wonderful story, so please enjoy the show next week, and then we'll see you the following week right here we're filming at the Addy. But right now, I don't want to take any more time from you guys. I want you to, and I love the horns. I really do. They sound
Thank
great.
you.
So I'm going to get off and say sayonara.
Okay. You know, love is a many splendid thing, but sometimes we take that special person for granted. And then we realize at the end of the day, there just ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Give me that solo, Rick. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. I know, 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 oh, I'm gonna leave the young thing alone, 'cause ain't no sunshine when she's gone. No sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't go home. Anytime she goes away, I know, 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 I know. Oh, I'm gonna leave a young thing alone, 'cause ain't no sunshine where she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Oh Lord, oh Lord, Lord, when she's gone. Oh Lord, when she's gone. When she's gone, when she's gone, when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, we love to talk about relationships. You start a new relationship and you say, baby, give me your love, give me your joy, give me your peace, but don't give me your superstition. Very superstitious, write it on the wall. Very superstitious, the light is about to fall. 13-month-old baby, what the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck, good things in the past. Will you believe in things that you don't understand and you suffer? Superstition ain't the way. Very superstitious, wash your face and hands. Help me with my problems, do all that you can. Keep me in a daydream, keep me going strong. You don't have to save me, no. Sad is the song. When you believe in things that you don't understand and you suffer, superstition ain't the way. Okay, your jam, your jam. And come over here and dance with me.
superstitious. Nothing more to say. Very superstitious. The devil has his way.